A good cup of coffee is one that like stops me in my tracks. That I take that first sip and yeah, I'm thinking about the profile, I'm thinking about the weight, the body, is there concentrated acidity, all those things. But when they're all present, that's not even what I'm thinking about. I take a sip and it's like the world stops turning on its axis. And I'm not exaggerating in the least bit. It's just like, holy shit, like that's incredible. Everything else that's going on, nothing else was important in that exact moment that I had that cup. You know, still to this day, I smell freshly ground coffee. I'm in my grandmother's kitchen in Detroit, Michigan. And then you start realizing, like, for that cup to be good, what it took from point A to point, Z, all the different ways it could have been fucked up, is truly remarkable.
We're a coffee roasting company. The thing that brings us all together is the coffee. The thing we all have in common is a passion for coffee, and then this very basic respect for each other and what each individual brings to the table every day, and the respect enough to know that every person you're working alongside of is giving 110%. In that, whether or not it always works or they do the right thing or you do the right thing every day, that's not as important as knowing that the energy and the effort and the intention behind what everybody is trying to accomplish is as pure as it can be.
I think a good roaster needs to have humility. Ultimately, it's a very solitary craft. There's a lot of time you spend in your own head, which I think is similar to when you're taking a hike or out in nature. And I think through that internal downtime, you discover certain things. I mean, there's a real beauty in roasting. Like when you're watching the coffee develop, you'll see the coffee as it starts to exotherm, and it's almost like it's breathing. So there's this like pumping of air in and out of it, and then you sort of watch the expansion like fold down the bean, and I think there's a relationship to that's similar to the natural world. You feel so connected to this thing all of a sudden.
I take my responsibility as a barista really seriously because I know that so many people have put so much hard work into growing this coffee and roasting this coffee and getting it into my hands. What makes a good barista is someone who really cares about what they're doing. I think that there's an element to the idea of something that my dad used to say, which is how you do anything is how you do everything. And I really believe in that, and I really try to live my life that way. And I think that the best baristas are the people that have an attention to detail, people that have really good palates, or people that are just passionate in general. I am a curious person in general. I love talking to people. People come in every single day, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day. I think it really creates a community. And I've never felt that anywhere else I've lived or worked before. I know their kids, they know about when my band is playing shows. It's a source of pride to know their names and know their orders.
Stumptown is a family on some of the most elemental levels. Like Wendy picked me up this morning in Mabel Road in the back of the truck, and when we got out, I came straight over here, and it was a no-brainer that Wendy would take Mabel from there and take her inside. On the most silly levels, but also on the most, times when it's not fun. I just, sent a text to Bob, whose dad's going in for heart surgery, and I really give a shit about, the fact that he's got to go deal with that. And we can deal with just about anything that comes our way, and much like your family, good and bad, you just deal, and you also end up kind of getting through some of the most difficult things in life. And that's the way a lot of us operate as a team.
And to look back at it now and just be like, fuck, I have a house and a job I actually, don't mind going to every day. And at the same time, like at the end of every day, and when it seems like your day's over, I get more excited because I'm like, all right, now I can start like what I want to do. My grandfather put like Folgers crystals in a frying pan with water, and that's how he made his coffee. For the most part, like probably just drink it with cream, and just like make it just because it tastes good. It tastes like a freaking candy bar that's helping your brain like energize and blow up. Yeah, but I love it. Again, like at night, it's delicious. It's it feels great. I mean, drinking that at night, I've stayed up till 5 in the morning. It really works. And just having kids and a full-time job, it really is like a doorway into like a whole other day.
There's craft in everything that we do at Stumptown, from the roasting process to the hands-on craft of making each and every cup at our coffee bars. We don't have assembly lines of machines moving our coffee around. It's all done by hand. Everything that we do at Stumptown is by hand. If it wasn't for the employees at Stumptown, there wouldn't be a Stumptown. Mostly everyone's artists, musicians, creative types, passionate types. And that helps our coffee taste better. They understand hard work. They understand if something is going to be special, you got to go outside the lines and outside the box.
Everybody is a steward of that single coffee cherry from the time it gets picked till the time it ends up in your cup. I mean, yes, Stumptown is, an energy and a vibe and a culture, 100%, but it's all driven around amazing, incredible coffee. Stumptown's on the map because we get amazing coffee and roast it well and make a great cup. Plenty of coffee roasters can get their hands on pretty good coffee, for sure. But it's that next step, and it's that next level. Our coffee is some of the cleanest, sweetest coffee on the planet, and I don't think anybody can argue with me on that. And I do believe it is the best fucking coffee I've ever had in my life.